Everybody, this is Frank DeMar with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth. If this is your first time at my YouTube channel, go to my website and you can get this book absolutely free. You can download it today, and it has all the information about Bible prophecy and current events. It's a documentary, and I wrote it as a lawyer would present a case for Jesus. Not that he needs a lawyer, but to show you that everything that he said was happening in this generation, it was going to happen just before he came. I'm showing you that it's here now. Everything except a few prophecies, the Psalm 83 war, the Ezekiel war, the rapture of the church, and the 7-year tribulation. Other than that, everything else has already happened here. So let me go right into it. Now I'm going to give you, this is going to be very brief, very fast, just to show you. Please check it out. If you got a Bible, I'd like you to go to Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 19. Now, in Deuteronomy 33:19, God tells us in the last days, we know that Israel is going to discover oil, the treasures in the sand and in the water. And a few posts that I had, I gave you information in my previous post about how Israel discovered oil. This was about a year ago. And now they've even discovered more. And this is only the beginning of it. But it's happening at a time that all the prophecies are coming to pass. Look this up, read the article, and you understand the importance of it. Another one. Let me just put this up here so you can see the headline for it. So you might want to pause it and go read these articles yourself. Israel discovers natural gas is oil far behind. And obviously this came out before. It was August 18th. 2010, they've hit, according to this article, 1.5 billion barrels, which is a huge find. Alright, so continuing on with prophecy. Take a look at this. 1 million fish dead in Bolivia. They got natural disaster that's wiping out the fish in Bolivia. In Luke and in Matthew 24, 7, for example, we're told in the last days one of the signs of many signs that would be seen at the same time would be the signs of pestilence, which means disease. And we have not only diseases for humans, but we have diseases on crops, we have diseases on animals, diseases in the water, and we're seeing that right now. Here's another one. Disease threatens Pakistani flood victims anew. As you know, Pakistan has been inundated with water. They have 20 million people right now, 20 million without homes that are in water. And it breaks my heart. And even on my website I asked that we should pray for these people, that the water somehow would subside and they would have food and water. But these are, when you read Luke 21 verse 25, because Jesus warned us there that the nations would be perplexed by the roaring and the waves. The roaring of the seas and the waves. Now the waves are pushed by huge storms, and we've had these huge storms not only in Pakistan, but we've seen them in the United States, we've seen them in China, we've seen them in other places in Europe. And so we know that the weird weather is coming, right? So this is the warning from the Lord. So look at these headlines. Extreme weather experienced worldwide. These past few months have been filled with extreme weather in many parts of the world, and climatologists are trying to figure out what to make of it. It's easy. If you read the scriptures in Matthew 24, Jesus says, when you shall see all these things, know that it's near, even at the door. That means when you see all these things, the flood, the famines, the intense heat, all these different things, you would know that Christ is not far behind. Another one, BBC News. The Niger River flooding destroys homes and crops. Take a look at this. I mean, we're seeing these things, and these nations are perplexed by these problems. I mean, Pakistan alone, 1/5 in the entire country is underwater. Crops have been destroyed. And this is going to increase the food prices, and it's going to make living conditions miserable for these people. And there's other parts of the world that we're seeing the same exact thing. Now in Revelation chapter 6 verse 6, Jesus shows us in the last days that people will be working all day long for a handful in Revelation 6:6, it shows barley and wheat. But this is an indication that the price of food is going to be skyrocketing if a person has to work all day long just for a cup or a quart of this wheat or barley. So it is very, very interesting and compelling when you see the Word of God telling us, and you see the exact same things happening today. And I'm going to prove that in a second. All right. 10 dead, thousands evacuated in Central Europe floods. Like I said, it isn't just Pakistan. We're seeing these things left and right. More weird weather. UN says Pakistan floods worse than the 2004 tsunami, where there was 200, I think over 100,000 people were killed there in those waves that came rushing in. And remember, Luke 21:25, the roaring and of the seas and the waves, exactly what we were prophesied about. Here's another one. Scientists find new superbugs spreading from India. The Lord told us about the pestilence. It's here. And we're seeing these bugs, these diseases, that they don't have cures for. And the old diseases are coming back. Now, all this information is in my book. You can get it absolutely free. Another one, 155 in Cameroon cholera outbreak. We're seeing different places of the world coming down with these different diseases. For example, here's another one. Measles. Complacency allows deadly surge in Africa. Measles was one of those diseases that was once eradicated. Now it's coming back, and it's worse than it was before. And they don't have the medicines to combat it. Peru battles rapid vampire bats after 500 people bitten. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of pestilences and diseases of all different kinds of not just affecting humans, but affecting through humans, but the disease from insects. There's another one. A plague. Mosquitoes ravage Chicago area. This is the worst case, as swarms of mosquitoes have been attacking residents in suburban Chicago. It's the worst infestation some say have ever seen in decades. Look at this. A lake in Iran turning blood red. Okay? Now in Revelation it talks about the seas and the waters turning blood and they can't drink. Well, this has to do, this particular article talks about a phenomenon that is as a result of red tides, these these particles in the water that they're algae, and what they do is they actually appear to be red. Read the story, you'll understand. All this kind of information is in my book. It is definitely happening now. Consumers soon to feed through. It says in here, it says how much food prices were on the rise. This is a story about the coming food prices that are going to be rising. You could see that in the blueprint. It says price of grain that goes up. Well, grain is going up because there's been so many problems in the world with massive heat waves, flooding, and all these different things, and it's causing a lot of unrest, and it's causing prices to go up. In Revelation 6:6, this is, we see this again. Why are the prices going up? The wheat prices, the barley prices. I mean, this is exactly what the Lord told us in the book of Revelation. What part don't we get? Here's another one. Bloomberg. Look at this. Russian wheat may climb to $300 a ton on drought. Luke 21, Matthew chapter 24 talks about famines. We see in Revelation talking about droughts and people going thirsty. People, it's happening right now. I mean, these are the beginnings of birth pangs, and I'm going to continue on as fast as I can in part 2, so stay with me because I'm not done.